Soccer situation.
People, welcome to episode 63 of Soccer Situations. On this end of the call, I am Todd.
And I'm Alex.
We're back to the old ways, the dark days of video conferencing.
The early days.
People, everyone has their own video conferencing trauma because of the pandemic, right?
Pandemic and forcing us to use it for everything.
People can relate, but it's more annoying when you're trying to podcast. It's so much more fun to do in person.
Yeah.
You know?
At least, you probably don't want to be in the room for most meetings. So,
yeah, it's ideal for actual business.
Yeah.
I see your little Littlefoot guy there. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah, a little Littlefoot plushie. They'll be out for the holidays. We're gonna do limited edition colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Folks, for this episode, you might notice we're producing with local video and audio recordings. For this episode, we're not going to have the Skype video up, actually.
Yeah.
Sadly, because it's actually a Google Meet, and apparently that's a premium feature. We didn't know that until seconds ago.
Yeah, that we're not going to pay for.
No, but we'll find a different platform for next episode and try and cut between all perspectives. It's fun, right?
Yeah, it'll be good.
Well, this week in the episode, it's been a week off for us, so we're a little behind on the headlines.
Yes.
We are on an international break, so what's great timing, actually, for an international break to allow us to have a breather. And, we can have a fun look. It's a good reason to have a look back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it gives us an excuse to look back.
Yeah. So this week we'll be talking about David Coote, which I've been singing David Coote, David Coote. How can you not?
It's funny. I was just thinking about Baby Shark the other day. That song.
Yeah, right?
It's a very catchy tune.
Yeah, it's shouting for it can be dirty business, really wishing on someone's downfall can be gross.
Yeah.
But when it's that referee with that face and that history of crimes against us.
Yeah, it makes sense to be
it's been
extremely
fun.
upset.
Just reveling in the further downward spiral of David Coote as more and more like almost Diddy style allegations just keep piling
up, and he keeps doing stupid stuff. Oh man.
Yeah, this week I think we'll also talk about we'll ponder whether or not Forest is a legit sleeping giant, and are they going to be back?
Yeah,
3-time European champions, Nottingham Forest, making moves. We're going to look back at the Champions League. Again, this is a little out of date, but there's been some fun stuff to look at and talk about.
Sure. Yeah.
What else we got here, Alex? We might as well do the same at the Premier League level.
A little Premier League catch up.
Yeah, I'll just take a glance at those tables and
see what's going on.
Yeah,
I actually need to catch up myself. I feel like I'm out of touch with what's going on right now.
I definitely am. Obviously, I'm now in Los Angeles, if you couldn't tell from the sunglasses that I promised. I think I'm going to take these off right now.
Hilarious.
I think I'll cut back to myself wearing them when I say something cool. But for now, for the first time in a while, and it doesn't happen often, I missed a whole round of Premier League and Champions League games driving across the country and briefly being stuck in the middle of the country.
Little layover.
That or not. Yeah, so I missed some games. I've obviously, since I've watched highlights and whatnot, I'm caught up on the news. But
yeah.
For Liverpool fans, pretty fun round to have missed out on.
Yeah, right. Romping.
Yeah,
that was quite the game. Diaz ripping.
Yeah, Liverpool had fun. City had less fun. We'll get onto that.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
So, yeah, the story of my life right now, Alex, is obviously the move and me being poor in L.A. now. Poor, but enjoying the fauna and the sunshine.
Yeah, the beautiful weather.
Yeah, the great trade-offs. The dueling taco trucks.
Yeah, I was into that. Yeah. Oof. I'm so jealous of that.
It's really. I honestly have no money, so I haven't exactly been living it up since I got here.
Yeah,
but I
of
did
course.
treat myself to a little Mexican the other evening. Went up the street, and there was one setting up right on the city block of our corner, and they weren't ready yet. So I went to the dueling taco truck literally across the street because I didn't feel like waiting. And I got a great Samitas Milanesa, which actually inspired. I think I really want, because it was very much, a Samitas Milanesa in the style of what we used to get at Samitas Puebla, but definitely only like 70% as good. It wasn't near that level.
Yeah,
it was very good.
Puebla was next level.
Yeah, they had the sesame bun that was like neck and neck. It was great and fresh and awesome. And they had the awesome white Mexican cheese that's super stretchy and awesome from Oaxaca, I think. The cutlet was a little dry, and they didn't have the magic sauce that Samitas Puebla had.
Yeah, it's hard to remake that.
It's really tough. They had some like stewed peppers on there that were emulating that in its place, and they were pretty good. But so now I decided that I want to go on a quest to compare all of the Milanesas in town to Samitas Puebla to see if there's any. There's got to be one that's good. Right?
Yeah, out there has to be one that's doing it as good.
Yeah. So, I came out here to gorge on Al Pastor, but that's almost too easy.
Right.
So maybe a Milanesa quest could be fun.
Yeah, a little more testing.
Right?
Something you haven't had yet out there.
Well, it's just LA will set the bar for Al Pastor in America. We know that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's going to be a sandwich here that can beat the Samitas Puebla Milanesa.
It's going to be hard. That place was legit.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the best sandwiches I've ever had in my life. That's actually not hyperbole. It's so good, dude. It's a perfect example.
Guy Fieri
of that
loved
sandwich.
it.
Sure, of course Fieri loved it, dude.
Forgot.
That guy's the king.
I forgot that. Isn't that how we found it originally? Was on that show?
What's that?
Did we find it from that show, or did we find it? Or did you know about it and then we watched the show?
No, I found it from one of our local guides, probably Doug Palace.
I mean, we lived like a block away from it.
And, well, yeah, exactly. I think I had heard of it before, but I was like, oh, we're moving right by this Mexican place. But, no, we went there, and then we saw all the celebrity food critic pictures on the walls.
Yeah, then we watched the episode.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
But anyway, that place is sadly gone. Maybe I can find a living example.
Hopefully.
Anyway, what's going on with you, man?
Oh, Littlefoot's busy. We're in the holiday swing over here.
Awesome.
We hosted, some Yelp Elite for our. We did like a tour and like a tasting for some Yelp Elite that went pretty well.
That's fun.
Yeah, things are good.
Things are good. Did any of them leave you a bad Yelp review?
No, not yet. Anyway, we have only like 6 of the 14 people did reviews, but they're all 5 stars so far.
Right on.
So it was good.
That's cool, man.
We're working on. I got some little lapel mics for social media stuff for Littlefoot, so I'm going to be doing social media for Littlefoot soon.
Amazing.
Yeah. We watched through a bunch of those GVSU college kids, those grad students' marketing ideas, and it's pretty awesome. We're actually going tomorrow to see this round's class in person. They're going to present their ideas to us. So
that's fantastic, dude.
Yeah, it'll be cool. We'll have some.
You guys found a little slave labor market of marketing interns?
Yeah.
I'll cut that out.
No, they.
That's sick,
they
though,
want.
dude.
I mean, they asked us to do it. We were looking for just an intern, and then they asked us to be part of this class.
That's so cool, man.
As the business that they would, work for, essentially doing these marketing campaigns.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure that's you all represent a really cool business for them to work on. That's definitely a mutually beneficial situation there.
For sure, yeah. And the kids have all been pretty stoked about it, so, and they have good
That's
ideas,
awesome, dude.
So we'll definitely be using some of them.
Sounds fun. How are Bailey and Dad doing in the house?
Bailey and Dad are sleeping on the couch together, I think, right now, watching the Lions game.
Has she visibly gained any weight yet?
I think so, yeah. She's definitely behaving much worse.
Sorry, I just had a phone call come in and forgot to go airplane mode.
Uh-oh.
But my camera's still running. Nice work, Apple.
Yeah, no, I think she's been munching food like crazy.
Yeah,
Richard
I don't doubt it.
He cannot not feed her.
Yeah.
It's his favorite activity.
Well, she'll be happy. She's thriving.
Yeah, they're doing good. He has been taking her outside though, so
That's nice. That's good for both of them.
they haven't been going far, but they've been going out and walking around the yard and around the just around the neighborhood a little bit. But so that's good news.
Yeah,
Something.
that's fun.
Yeah, what's going on out there? James is gone.
Yes, James. I feel like we've spilled all this information on the podcast before, right? But
Yeah.
friend of the pod, Irish James, is hosting me now officially in Los Angeles, which is why part of the reason I was so eager to get out here. It's a really great opportunity. Thank you, James.
Yes.
And he and his lovely family just went off to Ireland for the couple months.
Oof.
And he's also jet setting over to Italy and gonna try and catch a couple games.
Oh, nice.
He's hoping to get to a Sampdoria game while he's over there.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
So yeah, good for him. And dude, I'm grateful. It's a really nice place to stay. West Side, I'm not familiar. Pasadena's weird, but
Oh, is that where you're at, Pasadena?
Did I say Pasadena? No, I'm
Santa
the
Monica?
opposite of Pasadena. I'm in Santa Monica.
Okay.
Cut that out. No, I'm in Santa Monica. Yeah, west side, which I'm not familiar with. Not that I know LA well at all, but I definitely know the east side a lot better than the west.
Yeah.
But it's been cool. Weather's been nice.
Of course.
I'm really just, like I said, basking in the diversity of trees in LA.
Yeah.
I love them so much, dude. It's annoying because they have all the trees that like you have in the Midwest, but they also have all the crazy jungle trees and desert trees. They can't have all the trees here, it seems like.
Yeah, the climate just is good for everything.
And it really it like fluctuates block to block, man. It feels like you're on different planets block to block. It's crazy.
Right?
So, this is all stuff that is pretty typical, I think, when you're in a new environment. You
just noticing
fawn over the most obvious things to look at.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's fun. I'm too poor to do anything, so I don't have a lot of exciting news to report.
Yeah, that's fair. Working though, you got a job?
Yep, got a job. Still door dashing on the side. I've done some crazy door dashes.
Oh, I bet.
Oh man, that hits different here. You do some wild stuff here. I got to drive up to a mansion up on Mulholland Drive. Never driven Mulholland before. It's wild, dude.
Yeah.
Because it's a winding like mountain ridge, but at the top of a mountain. You're like riding the ridge of the mountain rather than down in the canyon. So you have just drops on either side of you, but just insane views the whole time.
Man, that's awesome.
Literally like just billionaire, nothing but billionaire homes up there.
Yeah.
And it's wild. It's surreal stuff.
Yeah, it probably is interesting. You'll probably get some random famous people getting DoorDash.
And whoever I delivered to up there was definitely a billionaire.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were famous. I think it was a tech thing, honestly.
Yeah, that makes
they were
more
setting
sense.
up for it was real party down vibes. Just surly caterers everywhere running around, setting up for a huge event at this house.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was dropping off booze.
Hilarious.
Funny
You
stuff.
brought the booze for the party?
Yeah, I did. My dirty ass Mini Cooper parked surrounded by Lamborghinis and like nothing but supercars. It was funny.
That's awesome.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
The Mini needs a wash, dude. I still haven't washed it since driving through a blizzard in the Rocky Mountains, which I should probably talk about. One of the most terrifying things I've ever done, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like my heart rate's going up right now just thinking about it. I should have turned around, like entering the mountains and seeing like how bad it was.
Yeah.
But I pushed on, and when I got some momentum and just prayed and white knuckled it. It was so terrifying. Super low visibility. One cool thing that happened in it is out of materializing out of the mist. I look out my passenger side window and there's like massive rams, dude, like mountain, not goats, like rams, like big fuck off rams. 3 of them walking inches past my car on the shoulder of the road. It's
damn,
like,
just
shit.
Like braving the storm.
Yeah, dude, it was wild. And then it cleared around Vale, and I pulled over and just to catch my breath, honestly.
Yeah, take a moment.
And then it got so beautiful. I forget what the canyon is. I think it's Glenwood Canyon you drive through west of Vale. That is just so insanely beautiful, dude. You
the
know,
landscape
just
out there is
crazy
insane.
high, like really near rock walls. But you have the Colorado River next to you almost the whole way.
Yeah.
And the Colorado's sick because it has all these like like grassy knolls and like it's just super beautiful. It's
Yeah.
insane. Colorado's insanely beautiful.
I can never not like hear Colorado River and just think about Cannibal the Musical though.
The whole time I was driving, I was thinking of Cannibal the Musical, dude.
He's like, are there any more big rivers between here and he's like, just the Colorado, the biggest fucking river I've seen in my entire life.
Yeah, exactly. At points, it's subdued to a beautiful little creek, but at other points, it's funny because it intertwines with the highway. So you end up crossing the Colorado, I feel like 6 times or so.
I bet. Yeah, that
you
makes
keep
sense.
kind of winding back and forth over it. But it was really, really beautiful. Then you cross into Utah, which just flips like a switch into like nothingness. The most untamed Wild West you've ever seen.
Yeah.
You think Colorado is rustic until you cross into Utah, and then you're like, oh my God.
What is this place?
Yes.
Alien wasteland.
And if you follow the Instagram, you'll know that's where my car broke down.
Yep.
Just a little distance into Utah, I actually got towed back into Colorado because that nothingness is real. There's
nothing out there.
nothing ahead of me for hundreds of miles. So
yeah, that's wild.
hit a pretty serious bump in the road. Hung out in Colorado. We'll cut off this. I mean, I don't need to tell the full story, but I made it eventually.
Yes.
Because of that setback, did the second day became a 2-in-1. I just did it all. Went straight to LA from Colorado.
It's a long
which
drive.
is pretty exhausting.
Yeah,
but
it's a long
worth
one.
it. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
should we talk soccer?
Made it. Yeah, we can move on to the football.
Where to begin, dude?
I
Should we
don't
talk?
know.
Let's begin in the Premier League. Let's talk about, I guess, just the state of the top 3. Brighton beat Man City a little while back.
Man City on
which
like a
leaves City 5 points behind Liverpool, just 3 ahead of Arsenal.
Yep.
Is that right?
On a 4-game slide.
City on a 4-game slide.
4 points ahead of Arsenal and Chelsea.
Okay. Yeah, I guess long story short, the top 4 don't really look like we thought they would look at this stage. Is there anything interesting left to say on that topic?
No, I mean, yeah, it's funny. I'm actually shocked that, Forest are still in there too, all on 19 points. 3rd, 4th, and 5th, all on 19 points.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Liverpool are pushing through that schedule of hell that we talked about. The first 10 or so, it was very easy to kind of dismiss their schedule as too easy.
Yeah.
We still have, I think, City, Real Madrid, and Everton on the horizon. I know people might laugh to include Everton, but they're always a banana skin.
But to say right now, based on form, City and Madrid are just as bad.
Yeah, it's true.
Madrid's been absolutely terrible too.
Yeah, we'll pivot on to Madrid, just the situation over there soon enough. There have been some developments there too, so that's actually kind of a timely conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. City, you can point to their back line. I have very little sympathy since we've been through a similar season with no fit central defenders.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have zero sympathy for that squad ever if they're struggling for players. They've had the biggest squad in the league for years now.
Yeah, to say the biggest isn't even...
Well, I guess not the biggest.
Doesn't tell the whole
count
story.
Chelsea.
yeah, Chelsea's the biggest, but no, City's depth and quality has been unmatched to kind of a cartoonish level for so long now, dude.
Yeah, they basically just have 2 starting 11s.
Yeah, A-list starting 11s.
Yeah, like top of the league starting 11s.
Right. I think City right now, the story is kind of expanding from this little losing streak to is it the end of Pep's reign at City?
Yeah.
He's acting a little wacky. He never takes losing well. He always gets a little extra eccentric.
Yeah, he's going to start snapping back.
He's being petty and passive aggressive already.
Of course.
But there's also increasing rumors that the Brazil Football Federation really wants him.
That would honestly, that would be a place I would enjoy watching Pep.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see what he did with a pack of Brazilians, right?
Yeah, I feel like that would be fun to watch.
And it would be interesting to not have him in the league anymore, right?
Yeah, I would. I would love that.
Yeah, so I don't know how realistic that is. I've seen both, it's a valid theory to be like, just like with Jurgen Klopp, he's like, he's not going to want to rebuild this team from the ground up and go again. You know?
No.
He's been there a long time. He's proven everything he needs to prove. I think a City insider has reported that their slump in form makes him more likely to extend because he sees a responsibility to rebuild, which is also a solid enough argument, I guess, just depending on him. But
Yeah.
he's not a rebuilding kind of guy.
No, that's not what he does, really.
Not really, no. We'll see. City also have a history of having a weaker fall than they do winter, spring.
It's true.
They typically become invincible after Christmas.
Yeah, they basically just don't lose games or drop points from Christmas on.
Right.
So any team that does that, they'll still be right in the mix.
1,000%.
No matter how rough their start is.
Yeah, if that's still part of the deal, if they still have their plans of doing that.
Yeah.
Then, 5-point gap is nothing, and we know that.
Yeah, I mean, none of this is insurmountable yet. And let's give Brighton a little shout out, too, just because they're also on 19 points. That stretches all the way down to 6th place.
Yeah, dude. Brighton had a little bit of a rough start to the season.
Yeah. Never too worried.
They're starting to look like, the Brighton we've been talking about for the past few years now. Just kind of chugging along, getting sick goals. This was a late win for them. Come from behind win.
Yeah, sick win.
Which is even better.
Yeah. Yeah, I was so happy.
City got the first goal, right? Really early in the game.
Yeah.
Has been a minute now.
And City were dominant, too, I think, early in the game. Like, really dominant.
Right.
It looked like it was going to be just a City win, and then Brighton came back, fought back, took some control, got some decent goals.
Yeah.
Late goals.
Yeah. João Pedro just kind of ticking along over there.
Another one that we'll see if they can hold on, how long they can hold on to.
Right. Whew, boy. It's been with this gap and everything, I guess. I just do not feel smooth and ticking through this running order.
Right.
What's next on the headlines? I
we
guess we could talk about Liverpool, top of the league.
Flying high.
Yeah. Villa, pretty decent scalp. It was not a casual win, but yeah.
Comfortable for playing Villa.
Pretty comfortable for playing Villa, yeah. Villa, again, are kind of navigating the Champions League, Premier League balance for the first time in a long time. You could kind of chalk it up to that, but also this kind of professional win, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Is becoming a little bit of a hallmark for Arne Slot,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a handbrake on, but they're just kind of doing the business.
Playing smart, hitting on the counterattack, still controlling the game in a way.
Did you see Arne Slot on the CBS post-match? I don't know if it must have been for a Champions League game, but he called Carragher out for not understanding his tactics very well, and they had a little laugh.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, he was essentially saying, he's not a black and white different manager from Jurgen Klopp. I've speculated about how often we're still scoring, Klopp-esque counterattacking goals.
Yeah.
A lot of our crucial goals still fit that mold. And Arno was kind of like, Jamie, I still do like counter-pressing and counter-attacking. That is part of my repertoire. So I like Slot's willing to come at him a little bit there and challenge the narrative. The media loves a really simple manager narrative.
Of course.
X-manager plays X way,
Yeah. And they're always looking for a story, just anything around that with a new manager coming in after Klopp. They just want something to talk about. Right. They want to make a story out of it, whether it is or not.
Yeah, for sure. But, Liverpool are ticking on. I'm trying not to get too excited, but the team's looking pretty good, man.
I mean, I feel like at this point, you got to be getting somewhat excited, though.
Yeah, no,
City
I am.
and Arsenal have been sloppy. You guys are cruising.
Yeah, we had the kind of specter of this contract situation hanging over us.
Yeah.
Virgil, Mo, and Trent none of them have signed yet. Trent, I'm saying, is almost. I think he's gone at this point. It
seems
really
like it.
seems. I mean, papers in Madrid are announcing their plans for him next year already. As only Madrid can openly plan for a player in public when that player is still signed to another team.
It's insane, right?
Of course, because that's not coming from the club officially, but also the Spanish media that, speak for them unofficially all the time. So I think it's pretty clear he's been tapped up, whether it's Bellingham or, that's a tough hit to take, especially when the team otherwise isn't missing a beat,
Yeah, the team's just rolling along. Everyone seems happy. It's weird when, I wonder if that'll become an issue as the season starts to close, like later in the season, if his head's not in it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Or if other players start to give him a hard time or something.
Yeah, I don't know if I see that happening. We have so many South American players in the team. They'll probably be like, tap me up
They'll
next.
be jealous.
It'll be exactly. It'll be domino effect. But anyway, that's my only sort of caveat to it's all rosy at Liverpool.
Right.
But, we're going to enjoy the season for what it is.
Yeah, definitely.
But, let's talk Arsenal, and then we'll tie that into Nottingham Forest. What's going on there?
Yeah, Arsenal-Chelsea. Did you watch that game? Did you see any of it?
I did, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was, I don't even know. I don't really even know how to describe Arsenal's performances right now. Like, they're not bad, but, something's just not clicking.
Yeah.
I feel like they should have won that game. Even, Chelsea tied it up, but Arsenal just dominated looking for, ways to score, but they just could not figure it out.
Yeah, it's just like they're running a little bit out of tune or something,
Something seems to be off a little bit. And, Odegaard being out for as long as he was is obviously a huge part of that.
For sure.
But still, it's something's just not clicking with that team. I think the left wing position is really letting us down.
Martinelli had that sick-ass goal, though.
That's true. He did. I'm like, yeah, of course he scores. I say that, and he scores in the game we're talking about, but...
Well, we know that's not typical of him.
But that's the production on the left side has just not been great as far as goals and assists.
Sure.
So I feel like I feel like we maybe are going to see something in January. I would like to, if things keep going this way. But, Chelsea, I was a little fearful of this one. I thought that they would be better than they were.
They have a lot of momentum right now.
Yeah, they really didn't dominate. I kind of was scared that they were going to dominate us, but it was fairly even in the end, I feel like.
That's how I remember it, too, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on at Arsenal. Well, I'll see. I'm not giving up hope yet with the squad, what's going on there, but we lost Ben White now. Injuries just keep happening. I feel like we talked about this with Liverpool a few years back when you guys were chasing them for so many seasons in a row that players get burnt out and start getting hurt.
Yeah, you have for sure. In the Klopp era, you could almost definitely track a building. You'd always have a breakdown season.
Yeah.
And then you have to go again, catch your breath. And then
it kind of feels like this is a breakdown season for us right now. We're losing a lot of players to muscle injuries.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep the squad.
You've also had a lot of really wonky calls.
Yeah.
You've dropped points to some wonky refereeing decisions.
Yeah.
Not that that's been the whole story, but it's a factor in it. Yeah,
it's definitely a factor in it. Just inconsistency. Inconsistencies in the refereeing, of course. Saliba's sending off was a huge one.
Yeah. I think when you look at the whole picture, you definitely don't need to panic at Arsenal yet.
Yeah, no. It's not an ideal position to be in right now, but maybe we'll be, we've been leading the way early in campaigns now, so maybe we'll relish the chance to chase it instead of having to lead the way. We fumbled it a few times, so maybe we'll be better at chasing.
So have we. I was just trying to think what position do I like more? What position I liked the most was the year we won it, when around Christmas we were literally up by 23 points or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, this is the position you want to be in, actually.
Yeah, you want that security.
Yeah,
I feel like, last year, I feel like there's moments when I swear City are getting 5 points a game.
Yeah,
feel like you're 15 points up, and the next thing you know, they're right on your tail.
Yeah, it's
and you're like, how did that happen?
especially because there's these weird points in the Premier League schedule where you'll have like a Wednesday game after a weekend game,
Yeah.
and like a 6-point swing in 1 week or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then suddenly it's tight, and then the pressure's on again.
Yeah, you can. There are dense points in the season where dense periods in the season where points come just so thick and fast. Dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a 7-day window can swing things so dramatically.
For sure.
You know, it's tough, dude. Yeah, yeah, definitely. In terms of let's say neutral perspective, if you look at the table, good looking league right now.
Yeah,
a lot
it's
of fun
fun.
teams to watch. Pretty even table, and no complaints really.
Yeah, not at all.
Oh boy.
Should we talk Forest?
Yeah, that we should actually.
Forest, who, as we're bigging them up and has a weird blip result against Newcastle, who hasn't been great.
Yeah.
They got beat 3-1 before the break.
Yeah, that is weird for them. Them being Liverpool's only loss and a surprise presence in the top 4 there. Talk about a team that's done some good recruiting, and
Yeah, right.
then we can move on to that story. Yeah, I think it was The Athletic had a really nice piece comparing the original squad that came up.
Yeah.
And the lack of depth outside of that starting 11 versus what they have now, where they actually have 2 Premier League 11s now. Not in the same sense that Manchester City do.
Yeah, not the same caliber, but they do.
Really, really good depth all over that team. Good coach in Nuno. I feel a little vindication there.
Yeah, right.
I used to like Nuno a lot at Wolves, and when he got bad, I was like, I actually did question myself on that one. Was I wrong about Nuno?
He
all
went to
this time?
Spurs, right?
Yeah, it was terrible. Well, I feel like he was there like 3 months.
Yeah, they cut him loose quick.
Cut him loose super quick.
But that's like,
and then he had to wash the Spursiness off, so it was going to be a little bit before he could come back.
Yeah, and he's looking like he's actually back to being himself again. Yeah, it's funny. I feel like this Forest team did, if I remember correctly, didn't they like kind of do a Chelsea where they just signed like a shit ton of like 11 or 12 players in like a summer or something like that?
They had the window that we made fun of at the time.
Yeah.
Oops, our bad. 19 players in one window, I think.
Yeah, so
they signed. Which I think,
to be
maybe
fair,
we're not wrong.
That does not work always.
No, that never works.
Also, I think they didn't have a great season that season.
No, they had a bad season.
So now they've like bedded them in and it's working. But they survived a crazy decision, I feel like, more than anything.
I think that's exactly right. They survived an insane decision.
Yeah.
And I think, if we went through that surgically, I'm sure we can find plenty of spend that went astray,
Yeah.
Not all of those players have bedded into the squad. But, I think we should admit, misunderstand what they were doing.
Definitely.
They were building 2 11s there.
Yeah, they were aware of how much depth affects Premier League performance.
Yeah.
And they were really focused on that.
Right.
And they've done well.
Yeah. They're showing ambitions of really, I think, trying to get a foothold at the top.
Yeah.
We might as well transition on to the fact that they have poached Arsenal legend and sporting director Edu.
It's a shocking one.
You were shocked.
I did not see that coming at all.
I don't think anybody saw his departure coming, let alone to Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, it came out at first, like the first whispers of it around Arsenal were that he was away in Brazil on personal family stuff, and then it was announced he was stepping away from the club. Yeah, it was like, oh, okay, something's going on. He's just stepping away, and then it was announced like 24 hours, not even later, that he was signing for the Forest like group.
Yeah, the Forest group, and that's just it. Much like Liverpool luring back Michael Edwards by promising him a director role over a portfolio of teams and projects, it seems like that's what Forest offered Edu.
Yeah.
As they build their own multi-club model.
Yeah.
I think they just bought a team in Brazil, France. I can't
remember.
It's tough to keep track of. We probably should have, and I think I might have when we originally talked about doing this episode 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, they are expanding the and that is also, I think, a huge, huge testament to their ambitions of staying at the
Big
top
time.
in the Premier League.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're building a feeder system for their Premier League team.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, they're seeing the model that everybody's moving toward, and they've reacted.
Yeah. Which, to be clear, I think sucks, even though Liverpool are actively doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, I don't love
It's not
it.
a move. No, I really wish it was more heavily regulated or just outright banned, you know?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be good for the game in the long run.
Yeah. I think, no, I don't see how it can be.
No, it's. You got someone there?
I think the post office.
Oh.
Yeah.
Funny.
But, oh, wait, no, today's Sunday. FedEx, Amazon.
Yeah, right?
Anyway. We were like, what time is it there?
I'm like, wait, what time is it?
Alex
Early.
and I operating on a 3-hour difference now. Sorry, I'm keeping you out late, Alex.
Yeah, right. No, wait. Yeah, it's 1 o'clock there. 3-hour difference.
Yeah, it's 1 o'clock.
Crazy. That's wild.
I still don't think I've fully adjusted. I'm still like
bet.
really, really wanting to go to bed at 7 o'clock.
I mean, your time tables were like wild for here.
Yeah, it's true. I was already early to bed, early to rise.
Yeah.
And I just shifted 3 hours
Now you
over.
went 3 hours the other way.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
gonna be,
I have been staying up till, till dark at least. I haven't been sleeping with the sun up, but, you know.
Right?
No, I'm adjusting slowly but surely. I got a pretty nasty cold when I landed, to be honest. So for the first few days, I was bedridden pretty much if I wasn't out or like working, you know?
Yeah.
It sucked.
bet,
It didn't
yeah.
help at all. It definitely didn't help with like me adjusting my sleep because I was being a real bum. I was basically getting home and just going to bed.
Just sleeping.
I'm
Yeah.
Just now starting to feel a little better.
So maybe
yeah.
now start adjusting a bit to the schedule.
Yeah, hope so. Adjusting to life in general here.
Right?
It's really, it feels good, you know, but it's culture shock, you know.
Oh, I bet.
Moving to a place that is so culturally different, just day to day, you're just like, oh yeah, it's little things like L.A. in the winter is so weird because hot in the sun,
Yeah.
cold not in the sun.
Yeah, like freezing, not in the sun.
You have to prepare to like, it's like a 30-degree temperature switch that flicks constantly.
That's wild. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just little things like that.
That's funny because that's one thing I hate out here about these weird falls we have here now is that you can't figure out the weather. You leave the house and it's 30 degrees and then it's like 75 by midday and it's like sweating your ass off.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like that here too. You want to go out with a sweatshirt, but if you're walking in the sun, you're gonna be so hot, dude. It's all about the sun.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But if you like get a table at a cafe and it's in the shade,
You're gonna
you're gonna be
freeze.
cold. You're gonna be cold as balls, dude. It feels probably just as cold as there, like in the fall.
Yeah, it probably
you know?
does.
Like down to 40, 50-ish. It's odd.
It's that desert climate.
Yeah, James's wife kindly reminded me I'm in a desert.
Yeah.
That's the other thing is I have not been able to hydrate at all, dude.
Oh, I
just
bet.
drink water all day and just stay thirsty no matter what.
I bet.
But,
Dry as hell out there.
Yeah, it's a change. But also it's fun, dude. Like, you know how I feel about this place.
Yeah.
And I do get a sense of confirmation of that still. It's not like when I first moved to Chicago when I was a teenager and like or young and I really hated Michigan so much.
Yeah,
When I moved to Chicago, it really felt like a physical sense of relief. Like, oh God, I do belong here. Like right away, even though I was
Yeah.
a poor idiot, I was just like, yeah, I feel such relief. Like this is actually where I should live.
Yeah.
I have that here too. Like, you know, when I'm just out walking around, see fucking the weirdest people on earth all the time.
Yeah, of course.
You should have seen this hilarious dad I saw skateboarding when I was walking back from getting a coffee this morning, dude. He looked like he was playing a 50s or like a 90s dad on a sitcom. He had like a Hawaiian shirt and he had like big skateboard elbow and knee pads on it and totally gray receding hair and big Ray-Bans. But he was skateboarding down the street in an LA Lakers t-shirt. It was just like, dude, this guy is so funny,
That's
man.
hilariously
This
LA.
Skateboarding dad. He looked like a character from Skate or Die, but a dad. But like the character grew up and became a dad.
That's hilarious.
No, there's weirdos all over the place, and I love it, dude.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's great. But my original point was, unlike Chicago is so Midwest that you just feel, you know, comfortable there right away.
Yeah, of course.
There's definitely like alien vibes here that I have to adjust to.
Yeah, it's different. It's definitely a different
you know.
feel out there in Chicago.
Yeah. City culture is different here. It's weird. It's
Certainly.
not really city culture. It's like its own weird thing.
Yeah, because it's like city culture, but also in a driving city, like a driving
Yeah.
area. So it's like a
Yeah.
lot of strip malls still and weird.
There's not the sense of urgency that's in Chicago. Everything's
Yeah.
very laid back. Even LA, sorry to make this an LA podcast, folks. I guess that was going to be inevitable, right? But like even LA driving, which is famously like the worst thing ever here.
Yeah.
Right? You know, big massive 6-lane highways, always busy. But it seems less road ragey at the same time because everyone is just kind of like, we're in it. This sucks. Like,
Yeah, they
you
just
hear
accepted
way
their
less,
fate.
like you'll see maniacs cutting lanes, like across 3 lanes to get off an
course.
exit they don't want to miss. But you don't get like everyone honking and like reacting super dramatically. Everyone just kind of goes on, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's just it's different weird vibes, dude.
Yeah.
Driverless vehicles everywhere.
That's super weird. That's gotta be
Empty
insane.
Waymo cars constantly. You know what the weirdest thing is? I had the opportunity to like kind of drive along with one in traffic the other day.
Yeah.
And what's weird is they seem to be like really good drivers actually from what
Really?
I've seen. Dude, they seem good. Like I saw one waiting to turn left with oncoming traffic and pedestrians and I saw it like inching forward to turn left and hesitating at the right time. So I think going when it was clear. I was just like, holy fuck, dude. That looked like a good conscious human did that.
You know
That's
what's
a good
funny is
driver.
like you think about. I mean, I just think about how I'm like everyone's terrified of this, but you think about how bad people are at driving.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like,
That's exactly
the more I
it.
think about that, the more I'm like, please, like, can I still
Yeah.
drive my car, but also get more of these people off the road?
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I've pretty limited sample size, but from what I've seen, I'm like, whoa, they actually look like they drive pretty good.
Right?
It's pretty cool. It's weird, man.
I'm sure they're a lot further along, like, than we can even imagine, because we don't have them around here ever.
Yeah. There's so much technology hanging off of them. You can tell it's like real future tech because it's not miniaturized and integrated.
Yeah,
you
they
know?
haven't shrunk it yet.
still looks
Yeah.
like Ghostbusters
Just
cars, like
sensors
stuff hanging off of it and stuff.
Everywhere.
Yeah, so it's definitely like some wild tech
Early
that hasn't
tech.
been like, yeah. They definitely wouldn't be able to integrate it into like like an OEM factory sedan.
Yeah, not
It's
yet.
not there yet. Yeah.
It's not far,
Anyway.
though. That'll come quick.
Yeah. Anyway, back to soccer.
Back to soccer, I guess.
Let's man, we're just bouncing all over the place, but we haven't talked about Ruben Amorim to Manchester United even.
Yeah.
That's how long it's been since we talked on the pod.
Crazy, dude. Yeah, huge
Wait,
deal.
we didn't talk about it, right? I know that was the episode
I think
image
it
for our
happened
last episode. It
right
happened
after.
that day. I think Ten Hag got sacked and it was announced that day,
Yeah.
right? But he has had quite the outgoing at Sporting, obviously thrashing Man City in the Champions League.
Literally threw a party on the way out.
Yeah, and then his last game at Sporting, I think he came behind from 2-0 down to win 4-2.
Yeah.
In the late stages, literally carried off the pitch by his players.
Pretty amazing stuff, like storybook write-off for him.
Yeah, have you considered just staying? That's so.
Also, yeah, right?
No, but yeah, those if we're gonna be enemies of Manchester United, those aren't great signs for us.
No, I got to say, United fans, I hope it's just they have to be so stoked right now. They were probably already kind of like happy, but then those two results happen back to back.
Yeah,
And that's their manager coming in. They have to be thinking like, it doesn't get any better than this.
no, all the lights are green. Like
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
But
Obviously a long way to go in that story, but
yeah, and
How
it's
could you
easy to
not
make
be
fun of
stoked?
their excitement. It's really easy to be cynical about their excitement because they've been excited about a lot of managers in
yeah,
the
of
last
course.
10
Ten
years.
Hag was supposed to be a genius.
Ten Hag was honestly, and I regret not pulling clips to prove this, but he was talked about in the exact same way as that
Yeah.
Amorim is talked about. So, yeah, there's a long way to go, but he's doing everything right.
course.
We're in a new ownership era. Theoretically, he's going to be treated or put into a healthier environment than the other managers were.
Yeah. Yeah, but
We'll see.
I mean, it's a great test for the new system and the new team over there if they can get it right this time.
Is it just a case of football healing that Pep Guardiola's City might be falling off? The charges are pending.
Yep.
Have you seen Liverpool, Tottenham,
Arsenal.
and who is it? Arsenal have officially lined up to take money
Yep.
from City if they can, pending the results of these
Yep,
charges.
they're all put their hands out. Like, as soon
What
as
a
that
funny,
charge
like,
hits.
petty headline that was. They were like, it was like when you get those Instagram ads at, were you a Facebook blah, blah, blah
Yeah.
user from 2013 to 2018? You might be entitled compensation. And Liverpool and Arsenal were like, yeah, we're entitled
Like,
to
yeah,
compensation, dog.
give us some cash, bitches.
Yeah, but no, this momentum can mean absolutely nothing. But right
course.
in this moment, City are on the downturn. Things are looking up for United. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
We could
if
be
you're
back
hopeful,
to the old ways before we know it.
if you're like a hopeful, positive United fan right now, like things have to be, you have to like clinch on to something, and this is the moment that could turn around for you guys.
Right?
Put you right
I was
back in the
doing-
mix again.
Yeah. I'm wondering if I think my hatred for City has come far enough that I would welcome back United as a contender
Fighting
if it meant
against
City
them
was
versus-
gone. What's that?
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
Like if it meant the City Empire was over, if they got busted for their spending to such a degree
Yeah.
that they weren't allowed to do it going forward either,
Yeah.
and then I could welcome back. I think. I mean, you want a healthy enemy, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's fun when your rivals are good. And like
Yeah.
when you can actually fight them. It's more satisfying to beat them when they're actually good.
Yeah, it is.
Um,
And I've really enjoyed the thrashings at United.
Yeah.
And especially
Well-
in the Ole era. We really had some good 4, 5, 7-0 times there,
I mean,
But-
you did have some making up to do, so
We did. It's true.
Now it can settle into an actual fight again.
There you go. We got it out of our systems. Now let's
You slapped
be
them
proper
around a little
enemies.
bit, and now you guys can get back to an actual battle.
Yeah.
Or do you want to dunk
Yeah,
on
let's-
David
let's-
Coote while we're at the Premier League level?
Yeah, Alex, perfect call. Let's talk about David Coote. Probably the biggest sports headline of the past since I moved.
Yeah.
Right.
Massive one.
Yeah, we didn't put it at the top here because I don't know. It's actually gone a little bit quiet at this stage.
Yeah, it was huge news, and I think we've been big haters of all the referees for a while.
Yeah, he is a very particularly easy one to hate because he's got that face.
Yes.
It's almost like a mix of David Schwimmer plus a little extra inbreeding plus like the referee smugness of the Premier League referees.
Yes.
It is an extremely hateable face. It's not a face that reeks of intelligence either.
No. And now we're starting to see that it's not one of.
Yeah. To recap, David Coote, one of the more senior Premier League referees at this point, actually.
Yeah.
A video surfaced on X of him disparaging Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool. It's since come out that a man in the video with him was a former professional cricketer at a lower level, I think.
Okay.
One of his boys, apparently.
Yeah.
I think, obviously. They seemed a little under the influence of one thing or another.
Yeah.
And, so Coote was suspended pending investigation, and it's only gone downhill for him since.
Yeah, the investigation's not going well for him.
No. Days later, everyone... Actually, I'm even going to bleep that out. That's not going to be on here. A tabloid in England posted video of him snorting white drugs that we can only assume we know the nature of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a funny picture of him in Indonesia with a refereeing crew, I think, or with a bunch of his boys, all of them with escorts. Did you see that?
I hadn't seen that one, no.
Out to dinner with a bunch of sex workers. Let's be positive there.
Classic.
But,
wow.
And was there one more thing? What am I missing? I feel like there's another incident, but anyway, he's under investigation from all the governing bodies.
Yeah, he's in shit.
The other thing was, there was a rumor that he tried to round people up for a drugs party the night before he was on duty for Tottenham hosting Man City.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And the white drug video we mentioned earlier was verified to have taken place during his duty at Euro 2024.
Yeah, he did that during the Euros while working.
Yeah. So, I mean, seems appropriate, right?
Yeah.
But he's done. Donezo,
He's toast.
huh?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We don't know like the depths of the refs, if there's like decent refs in the system, but I'm very happy to have a shitty ref out of the system.
Yeah, for sure. And it should be said that there's a whole host of incidents between him and Liverpool
Yeah.
that whether or not he called those games corruptly, that's up for debate still, but now it's all going to be called into question.
Of course, yeah.
You know?
You can't not question it now after this has all come out.
A lot of really suspicious calls. I mean,
he cost
bad call.
Arsenal last year as well.
He did.
Yeah. But yeah, obviously he's notoriously bad against Liverpool, and then this comes out.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's fair to say he's notoriously bad. I think if you look at the full sample size, there's probably plenty of games he refed us where there's no incident whatsoever.
Yeah.
But there just so happens that because he said this stuff, of course people can find a handful of really sus incidents now. Yeah, with the context. So he's not doing himself any favors. He hasn't. But
my question is, when are we going to get the investigations of Michael Oliver?
Yeah, I know, right?
In his payments from Manchester City.
Yeah, and talk about a host of suspicious calls that favor them.
Yeah,
we could definitely put together a little portfolio there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which without naming individual ref names, like the question is, will this David Coote incident prompt a larger sort of internal inquiry of like morals and standards at the refereeing association?
I hope so.
I don't think it will. I think if anything, there will be like a token.
I feel like the refs
kick it out campaign kind of.
They're just like the cops.
Yeah.
They just protect their own.
They'll do an internal investigation. All right.
Yeah.
And they'll have someone fall on their sword.
Yeah. Slap on the wrist for somebody.
Yeah.
Hand out some fines.
Yeah. Business as usual. Otherwise, though, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't expect too much to come on. Just like this whole city charge thing. I don't trust any of these governing bodies to actually do the right thing in these situations.
No, I don't think so. They're too afraid of, I guess, almost like setting a precedence of
of like actual discipline for their employees.
Exactly. They're like, but this is going to open us up to this X case and this. It's like, yeah, that's part of like being clean and transparent.
That's how you fix things.
Yeah. But I feel like I've seen columns of old Brits be like, this isn't worth investigating because it's going to call all of the integrity into question. You can't go back and award these trophies after the fact. And, it's going to make everything have an asterisk. It's like, yeah, that's part of the necessary like pain of growth.
Yeah. And also like things have an asterisk for a reason. Yeah. If there was cheating that you found out there was openly, blatantly a problem, then yes, there is an asterisk. Just pretending that doesn't exist doesn't fix anything.
Right?
Yeah, it's hilarious, though. That's a classic old man mentality over there.
Yeah, it's Brexit is still a thing. America,
true. We've embarrassed ourselves.
Made our own idiot decisions here. But, Brexit is still Brexit.
It's true.
It still shines throughout their culture, definitely.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about Real Madrid before we wrap this up, because they got beat. They're not looking where they usually like to look in the Champions League or domestically.
Yeah, usually even no matter how it's going domestically, the Champions League usually goes well for them.
Yeah, for sure. And long story short, it's not.
No, not at all.
Milan put a little hurting on them before we went to break, and Milan's offense looks amazing, dude. Not just Pulisic, but
Leao looks amazing.
Leao looks great. Even Morata's rolling back the years a little bit.
Morata's picking up goals.
Yeah,
he might not be the most mobile guy in the world anymore, but he knows how to finish still.
He's not unlike Giroud in that Chelsea, the old man Giroud in that Chelsea team with younger players all around him,
doing all the actual physical work.
If you get a ball into his feet, he can flick it in, or he can clean up the scraps. But yeah, dude, I don't know what the ceiling is for this Milan team. They look really good, but I guess we don't really have time to focus on them right now. The story right now is Mbappe kind of stumbling, both in Madrid and for France. fallout with Deschamps. He's not in the France squad at the moment,
Shocking stuff. Yeah.
right?
I didn't see that coming. The Madrid stuff, obviously things aren't going well there right now for him, like as well as they thought. But
Right.
for him to get dropped by France is a huge telling sign.
Yeah, I don't think it's based on form in typical France fashion. I think it's more of personal drama between him and the manager.
Yeah.
Or at least that's the gossip
That
that's
is
been coming
very
out, is that
French.
Mbappe actually, I don't know if he formally refused to go, but he doesn't want to be there.
Oh, okay. Got a little
which
Ben
is-
White situation on our hands.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so, dude. Pretty funny. But I think at Madrid, I think he has 7 goal contributions in 11 games, I think is what I saw,
Yeah.
which isn't terrible.
It's not bad at
but
all. But
him playing up front with accommodating Vinny on the left side and Jude in a somewhat attacking role behind him. Anyway, it's not clicking.
yeah.
And amongst all of that, it's been announced that Xabi Alonso is going to coach Real Madrid next year. Ancelotti out again. Poor Carlo, man. He's such a dignified old man that just does his work he like does it for the good of the empire.
Yeah.
And then just sulks off into
Then
retirement.
he's just like,
when,
all right.
You don't want me? I'm gone, man. You know?
Okay.
And
I'll
so
see you
Carlo
later.
out once again. I'm sure there'll be no hard feelings from him once again, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him behind the bench at Madrid once again.
Yeah, you can't rule him out coming back again in the future.
I mean, who knows what'll happen with Xabi? Definitely hot young manager at the moment, but doesn't have a ton of proven seasons under his belt.
Yeah. And
And
managing
he's
Madrid's a
entering-
different beast.
Yeah, he's entering a pretty volatile situation too,
Yeah.
with Galactico signings not working out. So he's got stuff on his plate to work out. I
Yeah,
guess,
having to
is
make
what I'm
a
trying to say.
Galactico team click
Mm-hmm.
isn't gonna be as easy as you might think it is.
Right? So that's one to keep an eye on. Recently, Paul Pogba was released by Juventus, and I thought it'd be really funny if Pogba came from the drug ban void straight back to the top as a Galactico. Like, just
Be
because
amazing.
if Mbappe has enough player power that he's displacing Ancelotti, and I don't think that's necessarily what's happening, but I'm going to say it for the sake of drama for the pod.
Yeah.
Mbappe doesn't like being played as a 9. He wants to be played out left, so he wants a new manager that's going to play him the way he wants to be played.
Yeah.
So if Mbappe is that powerful, is he powerful enough? He also recently said when he plays for France, all he has to do is run, and Paul Pogba finds his feet with the ball, you know?
There you go.
Could Kylian signal a full resurrection for Pogba
Of Paul
straight into the biggest football club in the world?
How epic would that storyline be? That'd be amazing.
It would be so funny, dude.
Did you see what Emmanuel Petit said about Pogba to Arsenal?
No, what'd he say?
He said Arsenal don't have the guts to sign a player like Paul Pogba.
He's daring him to.
Yeah, he's trying to push him. He's trying to nudge him, give him a little push to go for it.
That's hilarious. I know you would love it.
I would love it, yeah. I would take it right now, especially right now. We're already kind of stuttering a bit.
Yeah.
We need midfield reinforcements.
You need a playmaker. You know, we saw what happened with no Odegaard. We talked about that on the pod
Yeah,
already.
we needed
You need
another playmaker.
a playmaking option, yeah. I haven't seen Pogba kick a ball in a long time.
Yeah,
I have no idea
where he's at.
what his fit. I mean, I think more realistic options are probably Turkey or not China,
The US.
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi.
Saudi, Turkey, maybe MLS. Who knows?
Yeah, that's most likely the outcome here. But it would be fun to see him make one more run at a top club.
Yeah, part of me would like to see it.
Yeah.
I
always wanted him to be the player that he should have been or could be.
Oh, for sure, dude. I actually used to love watching Pogba highlights before I had the chance to see him full time as a Premier League fan,
Yeah, right.
because he is that sick, really elegant number 6, that can
Beautiful
kind of
player to
bomb
watch.
around box to box and do it all. He almost of a level of like a Ryan Gravenberch.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at this
Grav's been
point,
ripping,
yes.
dude. Actually, Grav's game this season is comparable to Pogba. The
He
way
does
he
kinda have
takes
that
balls and turns.
He has that
He's
kind
got
of
the tall,
build and
lanky
move.
frame. Yeah, he's got the build. But we're tipping over an hour here, Alex. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about? I know I've got things we've missed on the running order here. I feel like I haven't gone through today's headlines really to build a fresh running order.
Yeah. Obviously, Premier League will be back next weekend, so things will start to settle back in.
I see here live text, England have just beaten Ireland 5-0.
I was going to say, I meant to bring that up earlier. Sorry, James.
Yeah, I guess Kevin Kelleher wasn't the hero today.
Yeah, I saw that right before I left the house. I was like, ooh, England 5-0 over Ireland. That hurts.
Yeah, none of our boys on the score sheet either.
I think
we had a Harry Kane penalty.
Declan and Saka aren't there even.
Oh, right. I
think they both stayed back. A lot of players. Did you notice that? Speaking of, how many players dropped out of internationals this week?
Yeah, Harry Kane was very upset about it, Alex.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We forgot we made fun of Harry Kane via text.
Harry Kane being judgmental. England should come first for everyone.
Comes first for the man who can't win anything else.
Yeah. Even the Ramble was ripping on him, very pro-England, the Football Ramble podcast, where, look, it's not up to Harry Kane to regulate other players' fitness schedules,
right?
Health schedule. Yeah.
Also, both of those players, Declan played with a broken toe in our last game, and then Saka's been just coming back from injury, so it's like, come on, it's Harry.
It's just Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Just being such a chotch.
Yeah, just being that ultimate simp for England.
Such a simp, dude. He can't not be a Boy Scout.
I know. It's so annoying. That's why one of the most unlikable things about his personality.
Yeah.
It's just he's just come on, man. If he needs a little bit of edge to him, he'd be a more
same.
likable player.
I mean, it's the Jordan Henderson wasn't even as bad, and that is the same attribute that stopped me from fully loving Jordan Henderson.
Yeah.
He has that fucking Cyclops and the X-Men mentality of just I'm gonna be the leader.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Like dorkiness, dude. I hate it.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Kane's got it in spades, and I don't.
Yeah.
It's just not cool, man.
Yeah, nah.
Well, should we wrap up on dunking on Harry Kane?
Yeah, that's a good way to wrap it up.
Right?
Back to business as normal.
Yeah, folks, I don't know how this episode's going to turn out.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
We're recording separately. I'm going to be stitching things together. We'll see how it looks and sounds. And hopefully, once again, we're in a phase of it kind of adjusting and getting better week by week.
Yeah.
We're shaking up we're breaking eggs to make an omelet.
Yeah, right.
That's what it is. Before we hit Soccer Situations 2.0.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Alex. Thanks for staying late, dude. I know it's a bummer.
No, that's cool.
All right,
it feels late because it's dark out already here, but it's only 4:30.
I was thinking that. I know the sun's going down there, right?
Yeah, it's insane, man. This is the worst time of year right now, this stretch, until we hit the shortest day.
Yeah.
It feels terrible.
Yeah, it's a bummer. If it makes you feel better, it's the same here. It'll be down by 5 o'clock here too.
Yeah.
I was
Weather's warmer, but
yeah, it is.
Same
it's
thing.
Nicer still, but anyway. Yeah, dude.
All right, dog.
Thanks for chatting, and folks, we'll see you hopefully back on a regular schedule. Monday releases. I'm gonna try and do more maybe midweek follow-ups.
All right. Little check-ins, midweek check-ins.
Yeah, if you ever want to post anything or jump on to react to a headline, let me know.
Cool.
And we'll start banging out more consistent content.
Nice. Yeah, I'm down.
Cool. Well, thanks for listening, y'all. That's been episode 63, and we'll see you next week.
Later, y'all.
Soccer Situation.
No, it's easy. That whole time I was just